The weight loss industry has created countless myths about calories, willpower, and exercise. Yet millions of people continue struggling with stubborn body fat, despite their best efforts. The conventional approach, focusing exclusively on caloric restriction and increased physical activity, ignores the fundamental biological reality that governs whether the human body stores or burns fat. Dr. Jason Fung, a world-renowned expert on metabolic health and author of the groundbreaking book, The Obesity Code, reveals that successful weight management has never been about controlling calories, but rather about controlling hunger and hormonal signals that dictate body composition. Every medication that successfully causes weight gain or weight loss operates through hormonal mechanisms because hormones provide instructions to the body about what to do with consumed energy. The human body stores enormous amounts of potential energy, often between 200,000 and 300,000 calories worth of body fat. Yet most people cannot access these reserves effectively. The reason lies not in a lack of willpower or insufficient exercise, but in failing to activate the specific hormones that unlock fat stores and enable the body to burn them for fuel. The first critical hormone in this metabolic equation is GLP-1, which functions as a natural fullness amplifier that can shut off hunger signals just as effectively as expensive pharmaceutical interventions. Recent blockbuster weight loss medications work precisely by mimicking this hormone. But the remarkable truth is that anyone can trigger GLP-1 production naturally, through strategic food choices. This hormone gets released primarily in the intestines, specifically the distal regions of the small intestine, in response to certain foods. The human body possesses sophisticated homeostatic mechanisms designed to regulate food intake automatically. Contrary to popular belief that humans are mindless eating machines who consume until physical capacity is reached, when eating occurs, GLP-1 activation, along with other hormonal systems, sets into motion a cascade of signals, instructing the body to stop eating, creating a natural feedback loop that maintains proper energy balance. This represents homeostasis in action, the body's attempt to keep various systems at optimal levels. Individuals can trigger natural GLP-1 production by consuming high-fiber foods such as beans, oats, and chia seeds, protein-rich meals particularly containing whey or fish, and fermented foods, including kefir and kimchi. These foods signal the brain that fullness has been achieved before overconsumption occurs. The released GLP-1 travels to the brain, crosses into neural tissue, and becomes active in midbrain regions that control appetite regulation. Pharmaceutical versions of GLP-1 essentially provide the hormone artificially, telling the body to stop eating even without actual food consumption. Users consistently report simply not feeling hungry, which naturally leads to reduced eating, decreased insulin levels, and subsequent calorie burning, resulting in weight loss. The second and third hormones work together as a satiety duo, explaining why certain meals provide 6 hours of sustained fullness, while others leave people hungry within an hour. This phenomenon relates to how the body interprets volume, fat content, and protein composition, rather than simple calorie counts. When food enters the stomach, stretch receptors detect physical expansion and transmit signals to the brain, indicating that eating should cease. High protein consumption activates a hormone called Peptide YY, which sends powerful appetite suppression signals. Similarly, dietary fat consumption triggers cholecystokinin release, another hormone instructing the body to stop eating. These hormonal systems prove remarkably powerful in natural settings, evidenced by the absence of obesity among wild animals. Wild antelope populations contain no obese individuals because excess body fat would make them vulnerable to predators, while obese lions would lack the speed and agility to catch prey, creating natural selection pressure for optimal body composition. Individuals seeking prolonged satiety should front-load meals with protein and healthy fats, such as eggs, steak, salmon, and avocado, which stimulate robust peptide Y and cholecystokinin production. Liquid calories from beverages like soda or juice fail to trigger these satiety hormones effectively and should be avoided. Eating slowly allows adequate time for hormonal activation before overconsumption occurs. Someone consuming a substantial protein-rich meal activates such powerful satiety signals through peptide YY and cholecystokinin production that hunger may not return for an entire day. This represents the natural mechanism for reducing hunger without tedious calorie counting. The fourth hormone operates as the body's fat-burning thermostat, though its function often becomes compromised in overweight individuals. Leptin, a hormone released by body fat tissue itself, functions to suppress appetite naturally. However, In obese individuals, cellular receptors become resistant to leptin signals, a condition called leptin resistance, analogous to insulin resistance. Fat cells produce leptin specifically to communicate with the brain about energy storage status, signaling when eating should stop. This raises a crucial question. If overweight individuals possess high leptin levels from abundant fat tissue, why does overeating continue? The answer lies in an elevated set point where normal compensatory mechanisms get overridden. Dr. Fung uses the analogy of a room that feels too hot, despite the thermostat showing normal temperature settings. The problem is not a simple imbalance of heat input versus output, but rather a malfunctioning regulatory system. Similarly, when the body carries excessive fat, one must examine why normal appetite-suppressing mechanisms have stopped functioning. Much of this dysfunction relates to modern food processing. Natural foods containing intact fiber trigger stomach stretch receptors that signal fullness, creating a natural brake on consumption. However, processing removes fiber and pulverizes food into fine particles that get absorbed extraordinarily rapidly into the bloodstream, essentially mainlining pure carbohydrates directly into circulation. Like an intravenous injection, this causes glucose and insulin to spike to completely unnatural levels. Consuming isolated carbohydrates, rather than eating them alongside proteins and fats, creates metabolic chaos that overcomes natural appetite regulation. Ultra-processed carbohydrates essentially sabotage protective mechanisms that would normally prevent overeating. Individuals can resensitize their bodies to leptin by eliminating ultra-processed carbohydrates, obtaining 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep, which provides multiple anti-aging benefits, and practicing intermittent fasting with 16 to 20-hour fasting windows. When leptin signaling functions properly, the body self-regulates hunger automatically, without conscious effort or willpower. The fifth hormone functions as an overnight fat burner that actually increases during fasting periods. Growth hormone, known primarily for its role in childhood development, serves powerful fat-burning functions in adults, particularly during intermittent fasting. When eating stops, insulin levels decline, allowing the body to begin accessing stored energy. Simultaneously, other hormones increase, including sympathetic nervous system activation, representing the fight-or-flight response, cortisol elevation, reflecting metabolic activation, and growth hormone surges that signal the body to mobilize stored energy. This explains why hungry predators in nature appear more dangerous and activated rather than lethargic. A hungry wolf exhibits heightened alertness and energy compared to a satiated lion that merely wants to rest and digest. Individuals can boost growth hormone naturally through deep quality sleep. As growth hormone spikes during early nighttime sleep cycles, fasting for 16 to 18 hours, and high-intensity resistance training in brief sessions that simultaneously improve fitness levels. This hormone crucially helps preserve lean muscle mass while preferentially burning fat stores. Dr. Fung emphasizes that one particular hormone must absolutely be minimized for effective fat burning. This hormone operates as the fat storage commander, determining whether two people consuming identical calories experience different body composition outcomes. The body stores calories because hormones instruct it to do so. Insulin exemplifies this principle dramatically. When individuals receive insulin injections as treatment for type 2 diabetes, weight gain occurs almost universally. If someone receives exogenous insulin, weight gain follows regardless of willpower or dietary intentions, because insulin provides explicit instructions for the body to store energy. This demonstrates conclusively that weight gain and obesity represent hormonal dysfunction rather than simple caloric imbalance. While the calories in calories out equation remains technically accurate, since body fat represents stored energy, this framework misses the critical question of why the body stores more calories than it expends. The answer lies in hormonal instructions. Dr. Fung explains that insulin serves as the master hormone controlling fat storage. When insulin levels remain elevated, the body locks fat away inaccessibly. When insulin drops, stored energy finally becomes available for use. Lowering insulin requires prioritizing foods that maintain stable blood sugar, including eggs, meat, leafy greens, olive oil, and avocado, while avoiding refined carbohydrates, such as white bread, pasta, muffins, and sweetened beverages that spike insulin dramatically. Incorporating even 14 to 16-hour intermittent fasting windows allows insulin to fall sufficiently that the body gains access to fat stores for fuel. Lower insulin essentially provides the hormonal signal, requesting energy release, opening metabolic doors so body fat can exit storage and get burned. This represents the missing piece in conventional weight loss advice because people cannot access their substantial fat stores, containing hundreds of thousands of stored calories, without first activating proper hormonal signals. Ready to unlock your fat-burning hormones naturally? Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more game-changing weight loss science from Dr. Fung. Comment below which hormones surprised you most, and share this video with anyone struggling with stubborn weight. Let's transform lives together.